The first compliment I like the most is, your wife looks happy. We sacrifice for our families what we say, but in the process, our family's the one being sacrificed.
We have the opportunity to show up, and it just starts with the decision that we make now.
I ordered a bottle of champagne. I'm just waiting. I start bawling my eyes out. I'm probably like 2 bottles of champagne in already, but I'm empty on the inside.
Empty. Yeah, sometimes we have to go through the sharpening, and the sharpening is painful.
And in that moment, he says, give your life back to me. There was something my pastor told me to do. He said,
welcome to another episode of the Gynergy Effect podcast. Today, I'm honored to have a special guest, my dear friend, Mr. Gabe Mendez.
what's up, my brother?
Let's go, bro.
What's up, bro?
I'm going to roll this intro real good for you because it's like highlight reel right now. Today's guest has sold over 450 homes and done more than 300 million in volume. Top 1% in San Diego. Number 1, California for Realty of America. 120,000 followers on Instagram. On paper, Gabe Mendez is the definition of winning. But here's the part the highlight reel doesn't show. When Gabe was younger, his family lost their home. Predatory lending, the system that was supposed to help them, took everything. And years later, his own home fell apart in a different way. He lost his wife. Gabe didn't just get her back, he earned her back. Through faith, through change, through becoming a man worth returning to. The brother I know. This is a conversation about what happens when the protector has to rebuild himself first, and what he's been building now. Gabe Mendez, welcome to the Gynergy Effect podcast.
Let's go. Yeah,
Let's go, dog. Hey, before I dive into this stuff, I am so excited for this because our energy, bro.
I know.
I want to tell everybody the first time I met Gabe, me and Yessie, we were down on the 35th where we have our events here at Simone. And we're sitting there and we're diving in, doing this Tony Robbins, like whole workshop thing that we're going through and doing. And here walks in Gabe. He's like, oh man, like this is what's up. These people in here, and it just sparked this beautiful conversation. But the thing that I will always remember is your son. He walked into me, and I'm like, hey, what's up, little man? I'm usually used to like kids being kind of shy and like maybe giving a fist bump. But he's like, hey, puts out his hand like this, shakes my hand, grips that thing. And I think he was like 3-4 years old at that time, and just looks me directly in the eyes, like just dead set, like, nice to meet you. Like, I was like, damn, that to me, it told me everything I needed to know about you. And it's amazing how through our kids shows so much about our values, our foundations, the things that we teach.
Yeah, dude, that was probably it's probably one of the second best compliments you can give me. The first compliment I like the most is, your wife looks happy.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? I mean, because like my pastor says, you judge a man's husbandry based on how his wife lives and looks.
Oof.
Dude, if your wife is smiling and she's happy, you're a good man.
You're a good man.
But you can also judge your husbandry if she's sad and head down, then reflects on you also as a man. That's my number one compliment. My number one achievement is my wife, and then second is my kids. Wow. But before we get started, man, I want to give a big shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because I wouldn't be here today. Like Garin was talking about, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that faith that I have and that rock that I stood on when I was broke, busted, and disgusted. And I want to talk to the men out there today. You might be dominating in business. You're probably dominating in fitness. You have all the money in the world. You have the business. You have the status. You're traveling. You're speaking on stage. Or maybe you have the goal one day to go out there and do all of those things. I've been there. I've built it. I'm doing it, and I've done it at the highest level. I travel, I keynote, I get asked to speak. I have a team of 275 agents across 22 different states. Our company will go public in a couple of years from now, ranked number 1 a couple of years in rows in sales. So I'm boots on the ground with my sales staff, and I'm still leading from the front while building a team. And I'm going to tell you guys all this. All the world's accolades, everything they have to offer you is nothing unless you have your relationship with your creator, which in this case for me is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. All that was swept from underneath my feet. I know what it's like to make all the money. I know what it's like to be looked at and revered as the man. But I also know what it's like to have all that. And at the end of the day, when you come home and the people that you love most aren't there for you, your wife is gone, your children are gone, you have no relationship with your mother and your father, that is empty. If you have all the money, but you're not at peace and you're unhappy, are you really successful? And the answer is you're not. And I've been there and I've done it. So today we're going to talk about that. I want you guys to lock in with us. And hopefully today during the podcast, you guys will walk away with some nuggets that will help shift the way that you think and live, the way that you talk to your wife, the way that you live with your wife, the way that you speak with your kids, how you interact with them. And isn't it funny, brother? We say that we do all these things. We sacrifice for our family, the early mornings, the late nights, staying at the office, out working, being number one. We sacrifice for our families, what we say. But in the process, our family's the one being sacrificed. Come on.
We sacrifice for our family, but in the process, our family is the one being sacrificed. That's it. Well, that just sets the tone right now for what we're going to get into for the next hour. And all of it is going to be worth paying attention to. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Because I've listened to you speak a few times, and every time it's been impactful.
Yeah.
Gabe, in 2007, your family lost their home. Predatory lending. Take me back. What do you remember?
So 2007, I remember being a young adolescent, teenage years, and very selfish. We grew up very poor. My mother was born in TJ. My grandmother's born in Zacatecas. My dad's side's all born in Oaxaca. So all deep Mexican roots.
All deep Mexican roots.
Right? And we come here with nothing. So I'm first generation. All I remember is being born in a one-bedroom apartment, being raised in San Diego. And you don't know how poor you are until you get around people with money. So I grew up in, I grew up in National City, bro. Like, you know, I got the hand-me-downs, the big T-shirts, we go, all those things.
The team that lost the Super Bowl, you get the T-shirt that they won the Super Bowl. You're like, where did this come from?
But you don't even question it, dude. You're like, it's some new gear,
like,
bro.
Right, whatever.
It's new gear. And then I remember my mom saying, like, we're not going to grow up in the hood. So she gets 3 jobs and she moves us across the freeway from National City over into Bonita. But she barely gets us in Bonita. So if you're going east on Highway 54 and right before it turns into 125, the last exit is Briarwood. And if you turn left, you're in Paradise Hills, which is the area you don't want to be in. And if you turn right, it's literally a bridge. If you're on the right side of the bridge, you're Bonita. If you're on the left side, you're Paradise Hills. Right on that right side, there's apartments, and we grew up there in a 1-bedroom. I didn't know what it was like to have my own room. I didn't know what it was like to have friends over. So when I was in that school district and I started going to Bonita Vista Middle School, that's when I started to see the new clothes. Then when I started making friends and I started going to their houses, that's when I realized, oh shit, you have your own room. Oh, you have a PlayStation. Oh, you have X, Y, and Z. And being a kid, I would go home and I would run and tell my mom.
Like, why don't we have this?
Not even. I was excited, brother. Yeah. Mom, Luis has this and Owen has that and all that. But little did I know, when I'm telling her this, I'm breaking her heart. Because she's looking at me thinking in her mind, I can't provide this for my kids. Yeah. I can't provide that life for my kids. Yeah. I can't provide these luxuries for my kids. So I start breaking her on the inside year after year without even knowing it. Then I get into high school. And again, I'm exposed to more. And she's working 3 jobs. She's picking us up. She wakes us up in the morning, makes us breakfast, drops us off. I don't see her all day. We get a bus ride home from school to home. And then I'm there all afternoon. Dinner's already made. She gets home around 7 or 8, has enough time to put us back into bed. And that's all I get to see from her. Or I'm at grandmother's house, between one of those 2 things. So I never really get to see her. We never get to live together. It's just in the morning and the evening time. But I didn't know that then because I had family around, my grandmother, and I had friends around. So I didn't feel without at the time. Yeah. But I didn't know it was breaking me on the inside too. Right. Dad wasn't in the picture. Mom was never home. Yeah. But I felt like I was fine. Yeah. So come 2005, she finally gets us a house, a big old home in Bonita, in Eastlake, new development. 5-bedroom, 4-bath.
Yeah,
I finally have my own room
everybody has
downstairs,
their own
bro.
room. Yeah, yeah.
I got
you're
the bathroom inside the room. I got the walk-in
like,
closet.
life is good.
Bro, I was like, what? And I started inviting all my friends over. We started playing Halo, and
Yeah.
I got an asadas and birthday party. I started doing everything that I wish I could have done when I was 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Right.
Start like, living again as a kid. And so again, I didn't mature because I was always sheltered. And I finally had this life that I've always dreamed of. And so I wasn't there mentally or emotionally to realize what was happening. But she ended up getting a loan from someone, and they said that, hey, this is it. You can afford it. The interest rate ends up resetting. It goes higher.
Right.
And then the next year goes higher again. And a few years down in 2007 to 8 is the years from between 2006 and 7, the payment was already unaffordable. But 2007 to 2008, it was breaking her. So she stopped making the payments.
Yeah.
And that's when the notices started being on the front door. That's when I noticed the police outside the house knocking on the door. That's when I was at home laying in bed and I hear this. And I look outside the window and I tell my mom, the police are outside. She tells me, turn off the lights, don't answer the door. Then it happens a second time, happens a third time. And I don't remember how many more times after that, but there was a time where there was a bunch of police outside. And I remember telling her, she opens the door, she closes it, she comes into my room and she says, hey, grab your things, grab a couple of things, grab your bag. We're going to go spend the night at grandma's house. And my sister comes and she takes us outside, but I will never forget this. I walk outside. I see a bunch of police officers all across the street, both sides. I see the neighbors all across the street. The one across the street on the right-hand side, this big, tall, 6'7", corn-fed white boy, man, shirt off, shorts over here, arms crossed with his wife and his kids, and this one neighbor over here. And I just remember my mom saying, hurry up, let's go. And so she's grabbing us by the arms where we go. And that was the last time I ever saw the house. Never saw it again. And all the memories, everything taken away. And then all the friends asking, hey, what happened to your home? When can we come by again? Had no answer. Moved into my uncle's house. I slept inside of a garage for about a year on a couch. My mother and my sisters shared a room again. Moved back into my grandmother's house. Slept on a futon for like 4 years. Got into multi-level marketing at that time. But I remember at that time just lollygagging through life, thinking everything was easy and simple. I just wish I would have had a different mindset at the time because my mother wouldn't have had to sacrifice and do all that. And brother, I look back at it now, I have 3 kids and I have a wife. I couldn't imagine what that feels like to have to turn around, look at the person you love and say, my love, I failed you. Grab the kids, we have to go. And walk away from the asset, the only home we knew, Christmas and birthdays, and then have to, as a man, have your head held down, knowing you couldn't make it. Then you got to go back to the in-laws and your brothers and your sisters and rebuild yourself. I don't know if I could do it, bro, today in today's age, but she did it. And I never saw her cry. I never saw her break. And thank God that God got a hold of my life, because had he not, I wouldn't have been wise enough to realize what she did and then rededicate myself to her and say, I will make sure you will never have to go through what you went through. I promise you, I will get you the house that you've always wanted. And you will see your son, who graduated high school 4 years late with a GED, who never went to college, that was the black sheep of the family that everyone said, I don't want my kids hanging around him, who got multiple DUIs and got in trouble. That kid that you always thought you saw the best in, I'm going to make sure I make you proud one day. And bro, it's been a hell of a journey these last 12, 13 years, but since 2008, and it was a rebuilding process, but that's what started everything. And that's what broke me on the inside.
That's what started and that's what broke you on the inside. And I don't think it's any coincidence that now you're the top 1% realtor after having your home taken away from you.
Yeah.
And that, sometimes we're so hard on ourselves that we weren't able to show up in a certain way. But without that, without going through that experience, you wouldn't be the version of you that you are today.
Which is why I don't regret it.
Right.
I don't regret it. I love that it happened. It shaped my character, shaped the way that I thought about it. I'm going to take a moment to talk to you guys that are out there. It's not what happens to you that determines how life shapes you or what happens afterwards. It's how you respond to it. So you might be going through a season right now where it's dark, you feel depressed, you feel alone, and all these things are happening to you. And I remember reading a quote, and it says that You know, and it's not biblical, but it is a beautiful quote. And it says that when you feel dark, you know, you're not being buried, you've been planted.
I love that quote.
And God plants you in a season. So there might be a reason that you're going through what you're going through right now, because God needs those roots to grow deep. He needs to make sure that you're sound, that you have a foundation to build off of. So don't look at whatever storm you're going through as a negative. I want you guys to look at whatever it might be. Maybe your finances aren't well. Maybe you and your wife are fighting, you and your spouse are fighting. Maybe you and your parents at home, you guys are arguing all the time, but it's biblical. It says honor your parents. It's a biblical principle. It doesn't say love your parents. It doesn't say respect your parents. It doesn't say be there for them. It says honor your parents. That means you do it whether you want to or not. You're happy or you're sad. A good day or a bad day, you honor them. It says love your wife the way Christ loved the church. What did Christ do for the church? He died on the cross for the church. That means you laid down your life, even if you don't feel like it. Even if she might have been wrong and hurt you, she did something bad. What did the church do to Jesus Christ? They spat on him. They laughed at him. They put a cross on his back. They stabbed him with a spear. They fed him vinegar water. Like, look what he had to go through, and he sacrificed for her. So this means us as men, when we're out there, we're built different. We're built for these seasons. We're built for this type of weight that we have to carry. But so many times we're around the wrong people that we feel sorry for ourselves, or we're not meeting at the men's group on Sunday to go work out and to vent and to see how it's going, or go to church together. So many times we're left in solitude. We're by ourselves, and that's where the enemy wants you. That's actually where he gets you the most. Where people start to retract. A lot of my friends that go through depression and everything, I'm seeing these guys retract. They stop answering phone calls. They stop showing up to the podcast. They don't go here. They don't go there. They start doing life alone. And when you're alone, that's the scariest place to be, because that's where he attacks you the most. That's where the thoughts come in. That's where the swipes start to happen. That's where oh, she doesn't love me and I do this, and lust starts to creep in. All these things that you're feeling is probably because you're excluding yourself from the world when you need to be around people. Get around community. Talk to people like Garin. Watch these podcasts. But you got to build yourself back up. Just know he's giving you enough to break you, but not break you completely. But you do have to break, just like your muscles when you work out. You have to break them. You have to break the muscle tissue in order for new proteins and blood to come back in, for the muscle to be rebuilt to something big. Yeah, you're being slightly broken, but you will never break down completely. And that's when the breakthrough starts to happen, when you make that mental switch. You decide to wake up. You decide to be the victor, not the victim. You decide to use that story, make it empowering for you, and say, you know what? It's happening for me, not to me. But these are little conversations you have to have. You got to be your biggest cheerleader. But this is why you also have to have faith, because when the weight is getting too much for you to carry, you got to give it to someone else. And that person for me has been Jesus. But again, whatever season you guys are growing through, whatever season you guys are growing through right now, just know it's meant for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned. There's something being highlighted to you. What is it right now? Why do you and your wife keep fighting? Why do you and your parents keep fighting? Why do you keep on making $1 and spending $2? What is it that's trying to be highlighted to you right now? Figure it out. Watch the podcast. Pay for coaching. Go to church. Get the answer to the test. Go back out in the field. Apply the answer. Pass the test. And get ready for the next test. This is how life is. And you will, this is why when people say, I'll take you to the next level, that's what they're talking about. You pass the test, you got over that level, just like a video game. You're hitting, you can't pass that level because you're earning $1 and spending $2 every season. So of course you're stuck on that level. Go get the answer to the test and then apply it. And then once you apply it, guess what? You've graduated. Now you've leveled up,
right,
in a new level, new season. But this is what's we're supposed to happen. And man, yeah, bro.
Yeah, I can, there's so much that you just broke down there and so many great things. I mean, I'd love to, one is there are going to be different seasons in your life for different reasons, and you're going to go through these different levels. And each time that you go through, there's a new version of you that it takes to get to that next ascension. And that's the whole premise of why we built Level 5 Life, because it's really to build a framework to create that level up. So that you're living in that 0.1% of your life, that highest vision of yourself that shows up for your family, that shows up for your brothers and your sisters and the people in your life. It shows up for yourself in the way that's in alignment with your highest self, and then gives back, that practices faith, that leans into everything. One thing that you said that I really love, and I want to really dive into maybe some play times in your life that this really surfaced for you, but you said everything that's happening is happening for me, not to me. When was some times in your life that in that moment it felt like everything was happening to you, but when you look back now, that was the biggest blessing and the time that you had the most amount of growth in your life?
Oh man. So there's when you asked that question, two moments came to mind. The first one that came to mind was in 2021. That was probably the breakout year for my business. In 2020 was COVID. I did 56 sales. 2021 was my breakout year. I doubled. I did 100% growth. I did 102 sales that year. I broke 1 million in commissions for the first time.
Let's go.
And 1 million commissions is difficult. I mean, it's hard. It was 1.2 that year.
Yeah.
There was like 2 or 3 months where I was hitting like 200K every month, and in sales, right? It's tough to do.
Yeah.
But I was breaking these ceilings, and I had to hire staff and bring on people. And I remember interviewing different people, and this was when I was young in my faith, and I actually wasn't in my faith. I was just younger in my entrepreneurial journey, and I was hiring people based on metrics that I thought that mattered.
Right.
And I brought on these 2 women at the time, and I had this one solid gal with me, ride or die. I mean, we had gone through so many things together. When she had come to me, she had no social media. I helped her start her Instagram. I remember sitting in a green room like this, filming her. I had to edit her videos. We built her profile, and she's an influencer online now. But I remember doing all these things for years, and we built this team together. I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to hire these agents. I have a tremendous amount of leads that are coming in. I can't handle all of them. What I'll do is they'll come in, I'll convert them. Once I get them to sign the contract, I'm going to need the agents to get them to close. So just go show the homes, write the offers. But I don't have time to train them. I've trained you. So why don't we do this? You train them, and I'll give you a percentage of what they do.
Right.
She's like, I love it. Now she's closing her own deals. Plus she's getting a fat check out of what I'm doing, 25% out of what I'm doing over here.
Yeah.
And those 2 are on salary. So they're flat capped out at whatever, there's a cap. And it was a beautiful thing. Well, one of them had like a spirit of like Jezebel almost, where it was like jealousy and envy, but it was masked really well. It was masked behind makeup. It was masked behind smiles. It was masked, she was saying all the right things, I have a relationship with God and all that, right? And but that's when I learned afterwards that you judge a tree by the fruits. You don't just judge a tree by the way it looks. What fruits are they producing? And I didn't look at the fruits. I didn't look at the marriage. I didn't look at her money. I didn't look at anything else.
Just looked at the tree.
Just looked at the tree, bro.
It's a pretty looking tree.
Pretty looking tree, bro.
Pretty-looking tree.
Come on, outside, bro. Brought it in, and sure enough, she came in, and she started seeing the checks coming in, right?
Yeah.
And I would give her the leads and the deals, and her head, I would pay for the videos at the very end with the clients. I'd pay for the gifts, and very quickly, she thought that she was the reason this was happening. And I'm like, honey, I could have brought anyone else in here. Like, it took me 7-8 years to build this.
Yeah,
you're just a
you
bunch
didn't
of
see all the late nights,
right?
All the work that took in.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're just seeing what's rolling in right now.
What's rolling in right now.
Right.
Now what it took to get there.
Yeah.
And so now she was like, well, I want this, that, and the other. I'm like, hey, listen, you've been working for 6-7 months. I've given you this much. She's like, well, I've closed. I'm like, well, honestly, I've closed. I've given you the deals.
You facilitated.
You facilitate the sale, and but you brought one of your own. So that was a conversation. Didn't go well. She wanted more. She wanted this, but I didn't know that during that time of negotiations and before then, she was already getting into the ear of my senior agent that I had. And there was a moment in time where that one we part ways, and then with like 4 or 5 days. We have this big team meeting. We have a ton of deals that were at 20 escrows at the time, and a huge amount of volume that's moving. And I get an email from my senior agent just out of the blue. And I remember seeing like the subject. I think it said resignation. And then I looked at the body because you can see the notification coming on the phone.
Yeah.
And it said something like, I've written this a million times, and the quickest way is, and ... So I opened it, and then it said, the quickest way is just to say, I'm moving on. Thanks for everything. Bye. And I was like, what the heck? I blew her up. It was February 14th, 2021 was the date. Okay.
I remember.
And I'm blowing her up. Nothing happens. I have to walk into this team meeting with the rest of my team, just getting the notification.
Just getting that, yeah.
Got hit 5 minutes before
the chin. Now
it's testing
your leadership, your resolve.
We're testing my resolve. Camera guys there. I have roses I bought for the whole team. We had a special message. The team's all watching me. I got punched in the chin right now. I'm just like, trying to gather my thoughts.
Show up, yeah.
What's going to happen with my clients, my escrows? She just bounced on me. Why did she leave? Can we talk this through? All these things while your team's right here waiting for you. It's time for you to show up. And so I showed up, and I remember we had just hired 2 more agents too. And she was a senior that she was going to start training. So I just get hit with all this at once. That was one of the hardest moments of my life, because that day I spent trying to win her back. And I had plans with my wife at University Club in downtown, the Symphony Towers.
Yeah.
And I had reservations for us for dinner. I called my wife. I said, babe, this is what's happening. She was my wife at the time. I called her and said, look, this is what's happening. Do you mind if I give this reservation to this agent? I'm going to meet up with her to talk to her. She said she would meet with me tonight. My wife on Valentine's Day says, yes, we'll cancel all of her plans. Go do what you need to do and go win her back for the business. And that's when I was like, you know, like, she's the one, dude. So I'm texting this girl all day. Hey, what's up? I get to the place at 7 o'clock. I order a bottle of champagne. I'm just waiting. And then she's like, hey, I'm running 30 minutes late, 45 minutes late. Hey, I won't make it anymore. I'm like, please. I start bawling my eyes out. I'm probably like 2 bottles of champagne in already. Yeah, dude, I'm like throwing it back, bro.
That's not a good look on Valentine's Day, dog. Valentine's Day waiting for a girl that's not your wife, drinking 2 bottles of champagne right now, bro.
On Moet,
like, bro.
I blew through those things so fast. And I'm sitting in the chair and I'm facing the window and the wall's right here to my left.
You're like a little puppy waiting for her, looking out the door like, where's she at? Where's she at?
Dude. And the waiter comes by a couple of times, but he can see that I'm going through it, bro. And he's just like, hey, man, here's this one. And he comes back. He's like, this one's on me.
Yeah, he's like, you poor sucker.
This is on me, dude. And so, dude, I stayed there till like 10 o'clock at night, hoping that she would make it. I'm sending her photos. I still saved the text message thread to this day. Man. I never deleted it. And that time, I was wondering why this was happening to me. Yeah. Dude, I'm blowing up. Everything's flowing so well. I got this machine. It's cranking. Why is this happening to me right now? And I remember it took me 3, 4, 5 months to try to rebuild. 2 other agents saw that as a time like he's weak.
Yeah.
So they jumped on it, bounced, took a bunch of my clients at the time. Yeah. So I finished 2021 strong, killed it, but I ended up losing these people. And I remember asking God, like, yo, why did this happen to me? And then it wasn't until later that I found out that it wasn't to me, it was for me. Right. And the crazy part was this. It was, so in the moment I'm thinking, God, you're breaking me down. I'm losing my clients. I'm losing my agents. I'm losing my status. I'm losing my business. I'm losing everything. I'm doubting everything that I've built up to this point. I'm doubting everything. Am I the right way? Am I supposed to be doing? Am I who I thought I was? What's going on? Why are they leaving me? I'm not the great leader. Do my clients not love me anymore? What are they going to say publicly when they make the announcement? Like, all these things are going through my head, and I'm upset at God. I'm mad at everybody.
You're just trying to hold on to everything.
Bro, everything. I feel like, like all these things are just holding my arms are being stretched. And you got to wake up. You still got to work out. You still got to do these things. And you feel like you're being torn in all these directions. And I'm like bawling at night, bro. I'm crying at night. I'm showing up to the office stressed out. I'm taking it off on my admin, my staff, my beautiful assistant, who ended up leaving me because I had an attitude for so long. She ended up leaving me. I'm like, dude, I'm just getting torn apart.
Everything.
Bro, 9 months to almost 10 months, I'm getting my ass kicked. Yeah. It's like one thing after another.
And in your mind, you're the victim.
The entire time. Why is it happening to me? And I'm just getting stretched out. And then I remember, so December 2020, my wife and I split up. She left. We had attorneys involved. The kids were between 2 houses. We had just bought this big old house in Bonita. It's empty. And I'm like, you know what? In 2021, my business starts to blow up, like I was telling you about. And I'm the man. I'm making a bunch of money, 100 grand a month, 200,000 a month. I have this big home in Bonita. It's fully remodeled. I got a 7 Series. Like, I'm a man. So 3 months, I'm living my life, going out, partying, clubbing,
doing the man, single man, doing the
yeah, bro. You just sit at get the best seat at the club, bro. Yeah. And I remember just like being the man. But so during that season when that was happening, I remember like the business was blowing up, and then that ended up happening. But around middle of 2021 is when my wife and I rekindled, and because after that 3-month journey, and it's going to tie back into the age and the whole situation. Right. In the 3-month journey that I was doing that, January, I was the man, right? Can't touch me. Here, pick up the kids. It's fine with me. I'm out doing my thing. February is when the decline started to happen. I reached a peak and the decline started to happen. I'm making money on paper. I look great. Everything's fine. I have the house, but I'm empty on the inside.
Empty.
Come home, drop off the kids, sit in my house. Oh, how many women can you be with that will ever satisfy the itch? How many houses, how many cars, how many places can you travel to, how many bars, how many nice restaurants can you have to fulfill it? And it wasn't fulfilling anything.
It wasn't.
I was blowing 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month. I was swiping my platinum Amex like it was nothing. And it wasn't fulfilling the need that I had. Something was missing. And I just started sitting back. And I remember one time in February, my son was crying because mom wasn't in bed. He wakes up, he's crying. Where's mama? Why can't mama be here? And it's like 2 a.m, bro. And I'm sitting there looking at this big old master bedroom, big old master bed. And he's crying next to me because he's used to mommy and daddy sleeping next to each other in bed and him in the middle. And mommy's not there. And he wakes up, why can't mommy be here? Why can't mama be this? And I wake up and I look at him, I'm just fucking holding him, bro. I'm holding him, hugging the shit out of him, like, oh. And even now it chokes me up. And I'm holding my son. And I just sit there, cry to God. I'm like, Lord, I'm so sorry for what I did. I'm so sorry for breaking her. I'm so sorry for what I did to her. You know, what do I need to do? And in that moment, he says, give your life back to me. He's like, everything you have is mine to begin with. Give it back to me. And I'm just hearing those words clearly. And so I decline, but the pride, right? Decline all February. Well, still don't listen. So he tells me, I still don't listen.
Well, not yet, right? Like we're talking about soon, right? Like
this weekend?
Like soon, here soon. We're gonna start taking some steps. All right, don't worry about it. We're on our way.
But bro, so sure enough, taking hit after hit after hit, and come March, it's the lowest of my lowest. I remember being drunk in my house. I had like girls in the pool, I had a girl in the shower, and like my boys were all running through the whole house. And I just remember looking at myself like, what the fudge am I doing?
What the
fudge am I doing, bro?
What am I doing?
I'm not happy. This isn't fulfilling. This doesn't last.
I got a beautiful house, but I don't actually have a home.
And I sit back and I remember just them leaving at night, and I felt disgusting, just disgusting. So we got to clean this crap up, and no one's here, and I feel empty again, like no one to share this with. And I had the accolades. I'm crushing sales. I'm on social media. My videos are going viral. I'm the man. But on the inside, I'm broken, and no one knows it, right? And so I call her in March and I ask her if we can rebuild it. And I said, look, I promise you this will be different this time. It will be different. I will give my life to Christ. She said, what's going to be different? I said, meet me at my attorney's office. We met in Carmel Valley. We met at my attorney's office. I said, look, I will do it differently. This is what I'm pledging to do. I will go to men's prayer every Thursday. I will go to church. I will tithe. I will do whatever the word says. We've done it your mom's way. We've done it my mom's way. We did it your way. We did it my way. Nothing worked. Now it's time to try it his way. And this is the last thing. If it doesn't work, I'm like, then I understand it wasn't meant to be. But let's just try it one more time. And I'm going to pause there because I wanted to say this one thing, bro. I could have left. I could have just kept on moving on without her. Eventually, I would have healed, right? And life would have gone on. We would have had one son together, and life would have been good. I would have dominated in business. But there was something my pastor told me to do. He said, play the movie in advance. What's going to happen if you go down this path? Where will you end up? How will you live? How will it feel? What would it be like? And I did. And I went to the end of my life. And I remember thinking the entire time, every phase of my life, when I played the movie out, the pain got bigger, the hole got larger, and the pain of regret chewed me up over time because I just knew she was the one. I just knew she was the one. And I knew that if I let my ego get in the way and I didn't humble myself, that I would live with the regret forever. And the pain of living with the regret forever was greater than the pain of humbling myself and coming back and saying, I'm sorry. And that's when I called her, and that's when we met up. And that's when I said, we're going to try it his way, not our way. And I completely humbled myself to his way. And it says, and that's when I started learning how I was supposed to love her and what I was supposed to do. And as I started loving her more, and as I started learning more about Christ, I started learning things about that I was doing that wasn't right. And then here comes all the sales drama back with the team. All this starts to happen. And at the very end of it, in 2022, when I get to the storm and everything's done, and I look back at everything, my wife and I get married December of 2021. We move back in together. We recommit our lives to each other. We were celibate the rest of 2021. We didn't live with each other. We gave our life exactly what Christ said to do. We got married the right way. We went to premarital counseling. We did all the books. We did everything we were supposed to do. And as I went through that whole storm, at the very end, I looked back and we got our kids planted into church. Our kids read the word every morning. Our kids are involved in the ministry. We're now serving in kids. My marriage is blossoming again. And now we're rebuilding, and we have new agents who are joining the team that are faith-based. We have new assistants that are coming in faith-based. And I finally figured it out. I said, when I was going through that storm and I thought it was happening to me, you were doing it for me. You were cleaning house, God. You got the broom, the shovel, you got on your hands and knees. You were ripping out the weeds from my garden because you knew in order for me to get to the man that I needed to become, to inspire the men that you wanted me to inspire the fathers that you wanted me to inspire, I couldn't have these weeds in my garden. And when I was fighting with you, telling you, stop it, leave it alone, and you were on your hands and knees, pulling the weeds out, hurting me, and the weeds hurt when you just rip them out of the ground like that, and it was hurting like that, and I was crying with you to stop. You knew the entire time what you were doing. You were cleaning up my garden so you could plant new roots, new foundations, new seeds to start growing so that I could become the man, because I wouldn't be able to become the man that I am today, married, happy, if I had a senior sales agent on my team that was going to TJ every weekend, doing what she was doing in a Chinese restaurant called Hong Kong down there. There's no way I could be this man in business, having a senior agent on my team like that, knowing that I'm half in, half out. Yeah. He needed to clean all that crap out of my life so I could be the person that I was today, and I just didn't see it. He did the entire time. And when I look back, and my wife said, do you see now why he did what he did? I looked back and I said, Lord, man, your plans are always right. I just need to learn how to hear your voice, see what the word is and what the message is here, and keep on trotting along. And that's why it's important to have wise counsel around you, men that you can go talk to and have this discussion with. The Bible says, seek counsel, seek wise counsel from people. Wise counsel. So before you make a decision, while you're going through a season, I can call up people like Garin and say, brother, what do you think, man? And have you pour into me, and have my brother Andy pour into me, and have these people pour into me and say, Lord, it's highlighted. That's the word you're trying to give to me today. I understand now. And then move forward from there. But again, I couldn't be here unless that storm, I had to go through that storm, and it made me stronger and it made me wiser. And now I'm happy, man. I'm happy because that agent and I, we pass each other. We say hi and bye. My marriage is thriving. My kids are happy. And dude, you said it yourself. You met my son, and he stuck his hand out in your chest, introduced himself, squeezed your hand. Yeah. And those are the things that bring me the most joy. Raising kids that are law-abiding citizens that contribute to society, that will be an example of how to be and what God is doing in our lives. And that's all I want, man, is to exalt his name, because everything I have is because of him. And it's been a freaking amazing ride, brother, since then. So that was the story of when I thought it was happening to me.
Bro.
But it happened for me, bro.
Oh, it was happening for you, dog.
The entire time, and
man. Sometimes we have to go through the sharpening, and the sharpening is painful. Painful. But what's the product that comes from it? Something that can actually create that penetration.
Exactly.
And when you're talking about what your calling is, to really lead people and feed into people, that doesn't come at a cheap price.
No.
When God's plan for you is to be the shepherd, that is something he takes serious, where he's going to ensure that he puts you through these different parts of your life.
If he's putting kids in your life and a wife in your life and friends in your life, like, you got to be ready to, to be able to manage all of that. But he has to build you to get you there first. Right. And I feel like a lot of people that are out there, when they're going through these seasons, they're asking God for more money. They're asking God for a bigger home, cars, no debt. But it's almost like they're asking God to just give it to him, right, or just take it away completely.
Yeah.
That is almost... No, it is the exact same thing that if I went with Garin to the gym and I was like, bro, I want legs like that, bro. I want glutes like that. And you went ahead, bro, and I put the rack on my back, dude, and you just shoved a bunch of plates on there that I'm not ready for.
Yeah.
Like, you want my legs?
Yeah. There you go, dog.
Yeah, this is the weight I'm pushing. This is the weight I'm pushing. And you stack that, bro, my legs are snapping.
Yeah.
I'll tear a quad.
Not ready for it.
I'm not ready for it.
Not ready for it. You got to put in the reps.
You got to put in the reps.
Got to put in the reps.
So God has to train you on how to manage your money. God has to train you how to do those things. So that's why I'm telling you guys, if you're out there and you're going through these things, it's not happening to you. It's happening for you. You want more money. You want less debt. You want more assets. You want more peace and freedom and love in your relationship. Go put in the reps. and go through that season right now, because at the very end of it, you will then be the man that is wise enough to steward those amount of finances. He can't give you $1 million right now because you have $100,000 habits, or you have $50,000 habits. You want $1 million? Then develop the $1 million habit. Right. So learn how to steward the $1 million. Yeah. Know how to invest, where to take it. Have you guys even hired a CPA?
Yeah.
To learn about your finances, to strategize on taxes. Gabe, I only make $60,000 a year. Start with the $60,000. Yeah. Go talk to a CPA and say, what do I do? They might laugh at you. You might think it's silly, but shoot, you're preparing yourself for that $1 million season. You don't dress for the job that you have. You dress for the job that you want. You want to be a CEO? Dress up like a CEO, speak like a CEO, lead like a CEO, make the sacrifices that a CEO makes. And when you do that long enough and you prepare long enough, eventually you'll hit a crossroad in life that's called opportunity. And when preparation meets opportunity,
that's pretty good.
That's when success happens.
And another big point is surround yourself with the people that a CEO surrounds himself with.
You have to be in the environment.
They have to be in the.
You have to be. Like I tell everybody, if you want to soar high with the eagles, I mean, look at all the birds that the falcons, the eagles, they're flying high, highest altitude. So if you want to fly high and have that high roller life, and you want to soar high with the eagles and soar high with the falcons, you got to stop flocking around with the pigeons.
And stop doing what the pigeons are doing.
Stop doing what the pigeons are doing, man. Sitting there cucking around. Pooping on the light poles.
Well, one thing you said too, the pastor had you play out like a movie.
Yeah.
If these are the different versions, because I say this all the time about my life, is I think about my death often. Like every day, because I've almost died a couple times. And I look at every day as a bonus day. So today I'm going to feed everything I got into today. But I think about when I die and I'm with God and he shows that tape and he says, hey, here's your life. Okay, good job. But let me pull out that tape of what was the highest version of you. The version that I created, that I gave you this gifts, that you could have been. And I think to myself all the time, am I putting in the effort? Am I focused on the things that bring me to that version of myself? So when he puts on that tape, I'm as close as I possibly can be. And that doesn't mean that the identity that I had yesterday lines up with that. That means that the decisions I make today,
exactly,
the way I show up today, lines up with that. And that's the beautiful thing about this life that we have. Every day, and you spoke about it so well, we have the opportunity to show up and create the identity to that level. And it just starts with the decision that we make now.
And we got to remove the things from our life that aren't servicing us. Remove the things from life that aren't serving you. What's not serving you? Social media is a big one, bro.
Yeah, big.
A lot of people that I talk to, they can't stop doing this.
Gives you mushy brain.
Mushy brain.
Mushy brain.
And then not only that, the comparison.
Yeah, that's
looking at people live their life happy, successful. And then what do you do as soon as you wake up in the morning when your brain is most impressionable? You grab that phone and you look at it and you look at how great that other team is doing, or how successful he is, how nice her body is, and you start comparing yourself to them, and instantly you defeat yourself before you even get a chance to even take on the day.
Right.
That's like, oh.
And you know when you do that when you're not clear about that best version of you,
yes,
of what that looks like.
Yes.
Because when you're clear about that, then it's not me versus you or me versus this other people. It's me understanding me.
I'm on my mission.
Yeah.
You're on your mission, I'm on my mission.
Yeah.
And when you're clear about the mission that you're on and where you're headed and what you're going at that, you actually look at the other people and applaud them. You're like, dude, awesome job. Because you know what it
lifts everybody.
Because you know what it takes to get there, bro.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
So
you look at other people and you're like, man, I know what it takes. And typically that I've learned is the people that are most jealous. Like if you're in a season and you see people and you're upset or you get jealous, this is what I've learned about it. It's probably because when you look at them, they're reminding you of what you could do, and they're reminding you of what you're capable of. They're just doing something that you're not willing to do.
That's right.
And this is why it's easier for you to hate on them. So instead of hating on them, go congratulate them and say, man, they're doing something I wish I could. Yeah. Now get your butt off that social platform and get to work.
Because the people that are doing that, what is their view? Are they pushing other people down, or are they lifting?
Man, they're bringing everyone. It's funny. It's such a cliche quote, but it's so true. You'll never meet a person more successful than you hating on you.
That's right.
You just never meet a successful hater.
You don't.
They just don't exist because the respect is there. I know what it takes to make a body like that. I know the amount of the sacrifice you've had to make at family parties, the decisions you have to make in the morning, or when you're hungry at night. It's quick just to pick something up on a fast food restaurant. You decided not to. I know exactly the sacrifices you have to make. The sacrifices you have to make to be present here, hosting these podcasts. The staff that you have to have in order to say I'm going to be here instead of doing that, this, that, and the other. I know what the sacrifices look like. So I applaud my hat to people like that. And I'm like, and then so when I get a call from someone like him, like, absolutely. Any chance I get to be around this energy, bro, absolutely.
Oh, God.
But real recognizes real, work recognizes work.
That's right.
And if you get yourself to that level, but again, you have to have the vision. And what does the Bible say about vision? Ding, 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 ding. It says a man without vision shall perish.
A man without vision shall perish. And the question becomes, we spend a lot of time on the acts, the things that we do every single day. But are we actually clear about, are the things that we're doing every day taking us to the vision that we desire?
Mm-hmm.
And what is that? And if we're not, we could end up spending all this time and energy in building a life that it doesn't even look anything that we desire it to be. And then we wake up one day and we're like, what did I just spend the last 20 years doing? And not being there for my family, not being there for my kids. Yeah, I made all the money, but the things that really mattered are those relationships. And how did I show up? Was I in alignment? What is the legacy that I'm leaving, the ripple effect that I'm creating on a daily basis?
That is, and as a man, it's very difficult because we have the responsibility of protection, providing, and we're the visionary of the family. So as men, a lot of relationship advice that I've had to give out recently was due to a man having a lack of vision in the household.
Yeah.
A man not knowing where he's taking his family.
Yeah.
And his wife and him. So actually, a lot of it's them fighting, but the reason they're fighting is because the woman is having to take on the responsibility of the man. And if your woman is taking on the responsibility of a man, meaning she's managing the money, she's managing the household, she's waking us up to go to church, and this is what we're going to do. She's leading, bro. And if she's leading, she's in her masculine energy. She's in her manhood. Women are not built to be in their manhood.
No.
So of course, if she's over there doing these things, she's going to be grumpy. She's going to be upset because she's not in alignment with how God made her to be.
Yeah.
She's meant to be docile, fragile. No, I'm not saying women can't do these things. And a lot of them do. But I'm saying is naturally, this is how they're supposed to be. You fall into your role. She falls into her role. If you remove that responsibility from her, remove that having to manage the money and overspending and where are we going as a family and when the vacation's taking place. Man, my wife loves when I say, baby, get ready 6 o'clock. And she doesn't have to think about what she's wearing, who's getting ready, where the kids are going to be. Yeah. My wife jokes about me. She's like, one of my favorite things about you, babe, is that I get to turn my brain off. Yeah. My brain no longer has to brain, she says. I don't have to brain anymore.
My brain, these are the conversations, it's so funny that you say this stuff because we go through different seasons. And when me and Yessie first met, that's how everything was like that. Like I took care of all of that and, shut it off. And then we start this, and it's like, we're all in. Like when we go all in. But it created this, like some friction, right? Some tough, like where it was like, okay, like what are each other's roles, right? And the responsibilities.
Exactly.
And then it shifted the dynamic because I'm used to, like, I'm very masculine. Like I want to create safety for my partner. I want my partner to feel like she's taken care of. Like she doesn't have to stress about those things. But that wasn't how it was showing up as we're going through and building this. And it shifted a lot of that pressure and that energy onto her. And then I'm up at 3:30 in the morning because that's how I go. I'm just energized. And I'm going through my routine. I'm building this platform. I'm like, I see this vision. But I'm not thinking about how am I showing up for her in the relationship. And I had to check myself because it's like, why am I doing this? If I'm not living fully in alignment with everything that I'm building this to help people be more present. I'm building this to help people have stronger relationships and connections. I'm building this because I don't want people to be where I was at 5 years ago in that pain and feeling alone and isolated. And my desire is to create a huge impact in this world. And how am I doing that if I'm not creating that impact as a man in my relationship and showing up in the way that she desires.
She needed you to show up in that season.
Right.
So you were almost sacrificing her for this. I'm doing these things. I'm making these decisions, sacrificing 3:30 mornings, late nights for us. But in the process, she's being sacrificed, and you're not showing up for her the way she needs you to show for her in that season.
Right.
She needed that version of you. You just weren't there. But it falls down to communication. Understanding whose roles are what.
And whose roles are what.
Hey,
and
babe,
the love language.
The love language. How do you need me to show up for you right now?
Right.
How do you need me to love you? How are you feeling? And I feel like as men, dude, it's tough for us to ask these questions, but we got to remove that pride and ego. This is where my pastor trained me, bro. He said, look, Gabe, your job is to ask her those tough questions. What did I say to you? Well, this is what I told you. Yeah. What did you hear me say?
Yeah.
This is what I meant to have happened. How did you interpret what happened?
Right.
Ask those questions to her.
Yeah.
But when you ask those questions, my pastor then told her, your job is not to attack him for that.
Yeah.
When he opens up his heart and his ego gets dropped and his guard is down, don't take that as an opportunity to fire a shot. Don't fire a shot. Because once you do that, he's closing that back up. And now you're going to go back to this right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, your women do have to be trained on the communication aspect, as do we as men. Right. How do we communicate? Asking those tough questions.
And that should be something that you desire.
Yeah.
When you put your ego in check. It's not, oh, they should just understand me, or they're not the right fit.
Not the right fit.
That's not how relationships are.
That's how anything is.
It takes work.
Bro, business isn't like that.
No.
You can't just expect your business partner to know something.
And if you're not willing to put in that work.
This is the number one person you should be putting in the work for. And the most important decision you'll ever make besides giving your life to Christ is who you marry.
Right.
That is the second most important decision next to that.
That's it.
Who you decide to lay in bed with, the person you decide to be most vulnerable with, the person you decide to build life with, the person, because that'll affect everything.
That's the biggest indicator of the quality of life as a man that you're gonna have.
Dude, if it's true, I don't know if it is, but the guy from not Venezuela, but the dude that just took down the drug lord,
Madero.
Yeah. If it's true how they took him down, I mean, what they said was he was dating a 21-year-old influencer. And she was like posting it.
Bro, that would get you every time, man.
Yeah, bro.
That would get you every
time.
The
most toughest drug lord in the whole world. Couldn't get caught.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Not Madero down in Venezuela. You're talking about the drug lord down in...
what's his name?
And I know who you're talking about.
The drug lord from, MS-13, whatever it was.
Yeah, they're in Puerto Vallarta or whatever.
Yeah, he was with a girl.
Yeah.
He was out and about with her.
That's how he got...
And she was posting and talking about it, and that's how he got.
That's how
his location got pinged exactly. Everyone knew where he was at, and they were together and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the women, they can really elevate you to this highest level, but at the same time, they can also equally.
Some of the greatest men
take hits because of the relationship.
But yeah, bro, it's like I went through that. You go through these different phases in life, and I'm a big believer that God prepares you, because if I was doing what I'm doing now, and I even before I was in alignment, right? Like I was dry. I didn't do, like, I was very focused, but I got to a certain point and I had some adversity happen and I went off the rails, and I didn't know what the impact that was going to be or how that was going to happen. I didn't see that movie play out before. And so I wasn't ready to be in the position I am now, because the position that we're working to create now and the influence and impact and go down and create this change in people's lives and this ripple effect, you have a huge responsibility.
Yep.
And you're one of those people that I look at as having a tremendous amount of ability to impact other human beings. When people talk about you, the way you show up, the way that you present yourself, but that comes with a huge responsibility. And when we speak it and we say it and our actions don't align, that also can be a big way to drive people out.
Yeah.
And so now to see you and the way that you're showing up and the way that you've went through this whole process, and none of us are perfect, but we go through that and we continue to raise and we surround ourselves with the right people. That allows us to really be that light that can shine in anything.
I also hope a lot of people understand, because I hope they understand what their calling is.
Right.
I don't want them to look at the keynote speaking and the traveling, the money, the cars, and do these things and understand and think that that's what they need to be in life, because whatever that vision that God gave them is their vision. So I don't want men seeing this and being like, oh, I got to be a business top 500 entrepreneur, CEO, Fortune 500 company. Like, that might not be your calling.
It might not.
And that is 1,000% okay. Because you were just talking about being out of alignment. I know a lot of people that thought they wanted to become a top producer, be the big man on campus, and then their marriage took a hit, their kids took a hit, they lived their whole life and regret everything they did. I mean, Tom Brady said it. He's like, dude, one of my biggest regrets was not being there for my kids.
Right.
He's like, they didn't even know me. He's like, I'm there for them now. He said, but I wasn't there for them when they needed me the most. Floyd Mayweather said the exact same thing.
Right.
So you sacrifice this one thing for man's glory, but now you don't have this relationship with your kids. They don't even like you and they don't even know you. So it's like you have to understand what that calling is. Because if you decide to take on a calling that isn't yours and you decide to go down this road, then it comes with responsibilities that might take you out of alignment with who you are.
Right.
You may make decisions that are incongruent. You might say things that are incongruent, and then people stop following you and everything comes crumbling down because it was never meant to be yours to begin with. You were never meant to carry that weight. There was a separate weight that you were supposed to carry that God had planned for you.
Preparing you.
So just know what that vision is. Be very clear on what you want. Don't look at the shiny lights and think that's what it is, because I'm telling you right now, there's 1% shine, 99% grind. I am up early. I'm up late. There's things that I miss, things that I don't do. And it's built in me because this is my vision and my calling. So I enjoy it. But this is not meant for everyday people. It's hard and sucks. But there are other things that are hard and suck too that I wouldn't be able to do. There's no way I could stay at home, dude, with the kids all freaking day and have the wife go work. My wife has to correct. My wife has to correct me, bro, because I was like, the other day, a couple of months ago, I said she left the house for something. She's like, I need you to watch the kids.
You're like,
My son called mom. My son called her and was like, hey, I'm hungry. And my son was, and she was like, oh, dad's home. And he's like, yeah, I know, he's hungry too. Like, we're all hungry, bro.
We're all here. Hey, are you gonna make something?
Yeah, I go in the kitchen. My son's standing on the counter.
He's like,
he has the cabinet open. He's like eating like
he's looking lost over there. He's eating top ramen noodles that aren't good.
Like, I'm the guy who's supposed to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way I'm built for that, dude.
You're like, here's some peanut butter and jelly.
No way I can do that. So just know your calling.
All right, as we start to wrap up, a couple more questions here. The vision, the best version of Gabe. So this is to the identity.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. The best version of Gabe Mendez, fully realized. Who is that man? How does he show up? Where does he live? What does that morning look like? What does his wife say about him? What do his kids say when he's not in the room?
Already realized that man is standing outside his French doors of the master bedroom that overlook some hills and water with the sound of a fountain hitting in the back, cold, crisp air. My wife waking up, hugging me from behind, all beautiful and 10 years younger than me like she is. My daughter's in the Olympics with the gymnastic team. My son is pursuing his professional boxing career. My youngest is in private school, either dominating in piano or art, like he's already showing that he loves. It's early in the morning. It's about 5:30. Sun's just waking up. I have my whole day set ahead already. I have my executive assistant, who's graduated from an Ivy League college. I pay her a hefty salary. She manages all the rest of my staff. We have multiple properties that we own. We have our investments that are flourishing. We have our congregation at church. I travel the country giving messages about Christ and family, fatherhood, husbandry, what type of husband to be, what type of father to be. We've inspired thousands of men, thousands of boys, thousands of husbands, thousands of sons who are all going through a journey that need someone who's walked that path and can just keep it real and know how to articulate the message in a way that relates to them. We've inspired so many people, and God's given us a great life and given us purpose. He's given us health. He's given us my family to enjoy. He's kept our grandmother and our families around long enough so they can see what we've become and how we've taken the name and elevated it, reassuring my grandmother that all her sacrifices for the last 100 years weren't in vain, and that someone in the family took on that name and made those sacrifices and turned them into something great. My father saw that come through. My kids get to be inspired by it. And at the end of the day, I get to look back and raise my hands, and when anyone asks, then I get to say it's all through Christ. And we live a life of purpose and fulfillment, peace and health and love. And the legacy that we live or that we leave can't be fulfilled in my lifetime. It lives through my kids. It lives through my sons. It lives through my daughter. The wife that she is, how she raises her kids, the way she loves her husband, the type of men that my sons become, how they treat their wives, how they raise their children. My legacy can't be fulfilled in my lifetime. It will never will be. But it will continue through generations, and we will shape, in our way, we will shape our community, which will impact our city, which will impact our county, which will impact the state, which will impact the country, which will impact the world. And we do that one relationship at a time. But it starts at home. Yeah. That's it, bro.
It's all happening for you.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that question. That was awesome.
It's beautiful. You know, when I sit with people and I ask them that question, I can tell when somebody's really clear about their life, because the granularity that they can describe that with shows through. And when you spend the time and energy to really understand what that version of you is, and it becomes clear, then all your other actions align alongside of that. And you're a great example of that, just from listening to you, the shares that you have, and just you being as specific as you were with that. And I would just challenge anybody that's listening to this, when you're sitting there and you're visualizing that version of you that you did so eloquently, be as specific to your wife coming behind you and giving you that hug, to the fresh stores and the feelings that you get and the sounds and every little detail. The more clear, I do this exercise with people because it's so important to understand what is that version of you? What is your perfect day? And you just went through that in a really powerful way. So thank you for sharing that with everybody.
Thank you, brother.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So question, and I think I have some pretty good understanding of this, but I want to ask you, what are you building that most people can't see yet? The 5, the 10-year.
The emotional impact through work is the fulfilling part of the work for me. It's the people that I get to influence and change, because it's very difficult for me to find people that I aspire to be like, who are successful in their fitness, in their finances, who have a quality life, and who are grounded in their faith. You can meet people that are very wealthy, but are unhealthy, overweight. You can also meet people that are very wealthy, healthy, but their kids and wife don't have no relationship. They despise them. So for me, success is 360. It's every aspect of your life is successful. You know, like they say, you know, the unhealthy man spends his whole life building wealth. He will spend the end of his life preserving his health, and the rest of his wealth preserving his health. And so that's not successful either, to come home and no one loves you. So I need to embody that, because I need to show people that it's possible and inspire other people to lose weight, to become healthy, to have a healthy relationship with your wife, to be present with your kids, and to be a productive member of society. And so in this process of becoming and arriving, I'm becoming that version of myself. And at every chapter and every level, I teach that lesson. I write it down. I teach the lesson and what I learned and what I didn't like. And that is what the playbook that I give to other people when they ask me, how did you do this and how did you do that? I can quickly go back to the story. I can identify the lesson, the problem, what I did wrong, and what I should have done. So that's the most fulfilling part of the work. And that's what people can't see. They will only see it afterwards. And I'm okay with that because I've learned that I'm not here to get the applause from man for them to say, hey, Gabe, you did a phenomenal job. I already know. I'm not looking for that. And it never comes right away. Anyways, it's not until later do people realize what you've done for them. And it's like what Jesus said, a man's revered everywhere except his own hometown. And Jesus went around from town to town touching people's lives. And it wasn't until later when he was sacrificed and killed and all that stuff happened, everyone said, man, that was a good dude. And he was the Son of God, and look what he did for us. And so we're made in Christ's image. So I know there's going to be things like that. So I don't look for those applause and I don't look for those high fives. I just look to do what I can do in any interaction that I go to, plant that seed, and let God do the work from there. And he's going to use my story, my status, whatever he gives me. He's going to use that as the shiny object to bring people in. He's already given me the skills of being able to communicate effectively. He give me this, and he's like, here, go do what you need to do with that person. So he's giving me what I want. So it attracts the people. They come. And then from there, I do what I need to do. So it's a teamwork thing. Yeah.
Love that. Making that impact.
Yeah. Impact.
That's what it's all about. It's that ascension.
Yeah.
The boy from 2007 is watching you from 5 years from now. Does that kid finally feel safe?
Yeah, he's so proud, bro.
Mm.
He's so proud. Because he knew it. He saw it. He didn't know how it was going to happen and when it would happen. But he's so proud. There's some things he wants that man to still change, which is what we're currently going through. But for the most part, this dude's super happy. And he's like, man, awesome job. Good job on breaking through that first layer. Now do it again.
I think that's really important what you just said, man, because I think a lot of people, they see success and they think at that point everything's perfect. But this whole human experience is an ongoing journey of growth.
Yeah.
And having that childlike curiosity is the biggest thing. I love surrounding myself with people that have that childlike curiosity because we should always desire that to learn. Yeah. Never stay stagnant. For what? What does that do? Yeah. Like, I always like that uncomfortableness, that feeling, that nervousness. Yeah. That means you're living life. Yes. That's what you should seek out. You know, you said when you're a kid, you get in sports before a game. It's like that unknowing what's the outcome going to be. And then sometimes in life we get so comfortable and then we start pushing that feeling away like, oh, that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Let's always lean into that growth, that uncomfortableness. That's what creates that elevation.
Where you're at right now in life, like you just got to move. Get out of that area. Don't be comfortable.
Because there's so much more. We live one life.
Yeah, there's one shot.
Yeah, we got one opportunity here.
Get this,
man. Let's live. Let's just let it go. Let it fly.
Oh man,
let it fly,
no
baby.
One cares what you did. No one cares what you posted about.
They don't.
Everyone has their own life going on, man.
Yeah.
Like, go live loud, live boldly. Go out there, live. See what the fullest potential of your life can become. How big and grand it can be. If you just stop allowing yourself to be distracted by the social media and the distractions and all the beer and everything that's not serving you, none of those things serve you, bro. And let it go and go out and be bold and live life. See what's out there for you.
And lean into making mistakes. Lean into failure. Like, that's part of that process, bro.
You can't grow, do without losing.
Nah.
It's part of the game. But you don't even lose, really. It's a lesson that you learn.
Right.
Yeah, you just learn one way not to do it.
That's right.
Or maybe another way that will work. So lean into the failures.
So we're going to jump in as we close this out, rapid fire.
All right.
So we're gonna get after it. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Best sales advice. One sentence. Go.
Master the art of the personality type and the art of care. Learn the people and learn to have them feel that you care.
People remember how you make them feel, not what you say.
Correct.
So good. Worst advice realtors give that need to die.
You got to go on social media and start dancing. Yeah, ain't got to do all that, my man. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, that was pretty good. Though. I still remember that. I still remember that Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, exactly, bro. That was fire.
Bust it out every now
I
and
mean,
then.
when you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
You know, but that's funny. Best compliment your wife has given you.
When she says, "I trust you."
That's a big one, huh?
To have someone's trust.
They're giving everything.
They give it
all of you. They give all of them to you.
All of them to you. Man. That's the number one compliment she gives me.
That's a big.
I trust you as a man.
Well, that's something right there to strive for.
Yeah, it's the best.
Give me chills. What do your kids think dad does for work?
Sells houses. They know. They're very clear about that.
They know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Morning routine, non-negotiable.
Breath work. Got to open up those lungs and clean up that mucus lining. Got to breathe. Breath is life.
I did 2 things of breath work yesterday. In the morning, and then I had my EO meeting. We had Caesar. I don't know if you know Caesar.
Maybe.
But he's amazing. He does breath work. He owns the restaurant down Little Italy, the sushi one, Cloak and Pedal.
Yeah.
One of my he's an incredible human being. Love that man.
Yeah.
The breath work. Dude. We do it every morning, and we just part of our whole level 5 life like that.
Yeah.
Crazy what that will do for you.
Oh, that's the best.
Our breath, man. Like,
yeah.
Favorite Bible verse right now.
I'm in a season right now where I have to remember to keep myself grounded in my faith. And the first thing that I have to do is to remember to put Christ first and then my wife. Work has been so crazy busy recently that those two have taken a back seat. And so learning to re-engage with my wife and re-engage with Christ and restructure the life right now as my business is exploding is I'm being reminded that Christ has to become first. So maybe not so much a Bible verse, but maybe reminding myself that in this order of life that I'm building right now, God must come first at everything that I do. In my prayer, in my worship time, my devotional time, at my time at church, in my tithing. And the last 60 days, it has not been like that. And I'm noticing the repercussions of not doing that. So it's not so much a verse. It's more about structure, keeping Christ first in this season. That's where I'm at.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's easy to get off that track.
Yes.
It's always a reason to get off that track. There's
an excuse.
Also always a priority to get off that track.
Exactly. It's easy to push to the side.
Every time it comes back, though.
Yeah, it does.
The lie most men believe about success.
That it will make you happy. Yeah.
I mean, I know, we both know a lot of wealthy people
that are so depressed,
miserable, out of shape, miserable, horrible relationships, like, man,
drug abuse.
Yep. I mean, when I had a company worth $40 million, and that's when I was at my worst.
Damn,
I was at my worst, absolute worst.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Text 2007 Gabe, one message, 160 characters. Go.
Hey, bro. Just want to let you know you're going to go through a lot of shit, but it's all part of the plan. Take the hit, learn the lesson, quickly adapt, and you'll get there faster. It's all going to work out.
If you're listening to that right there, that's the message to you. It's all going to work out. Take the hit, learn the lesson, adapt. It's always spitting fire. Gabe, we started with the boy who watched his family lose their home. We talked about a man who lost his wife, the rebuild through Christ, and we look forward. As a man, you're still becoming the legacy you're creating. Both times you lost something. You rebuilt, not by performing, not by closing, by changing. So if someone is listening in their own 2007 moment, they just lost the house, the marriage, the business, and they can't see a future yet, what do you want them to hear?
It's not permanent. And only if you decide to change and take action on that change, then things can become better. And it all starts with you. As a man, you must take full accountability of everything good and everything bad in your life. The world will teach you to find an excuse and to put the responsibility on someone else and say it's because of something else. But the faster you can realize that it's because of you, that everything's happening, and that it's happening for you, then you take the power back. And once you have the power, you can do what you decide to do with it from there. Learn the lesson, make the change, go execute the plan. And I promise you, the next 90 days, the next 6 months can potentially look far better than what you're currently going through now. If you learn the lesson, take the responsibility, you learn the lesson, you apply it, and you go change. And I'm telling you, from the past and the present, it can get better, and it will.
My man, just brought the heat.
Come on.
No disappointment over here, dog.
Baby. Yeah.
I knew it was gonna be fire.
Come on, G.
Heating up.
My boy over here.
Just getting started.
Just getting started, man. We could
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I love it. We're gonna have to do another recap on this, man, because
this is what happens when you have that synergy, bro.
Right, we call it that Gynergy, baby.
Gynergy, man. You got that Gynergy happen. It flows, it goes, it heats up.
God, we could do this all day.
It's
awesome, beautiful.
Dude.
Praise the Lord, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. Where can somebody thinking about buying a house right now, selling a home, making an investment? How they find you? We'll also post it in the
absolutely. So my practice, we focus on traditional residential sales. We're now getting into investments in commercial, specifically distressed commercial properties. So
it's a big thing happening right now.
It's a big thing happening right now. So if you guys know of anyone who's in a distressed situation, let me know. Or if you're looking to do traditional business, also let me know. We're a fully staffed agency, so I have 7 people on payroll. I don't treat this like a hobby. This has been my business, bread and butter, for the last 12 years. And we service clients who want to sell their home all throughout the state of California. And we help our clients who want to purchase all throughout Southern California. So if you guys want to contact me, 619-876-2265, or on Instagram at Gabe Mendez. There's a reason we've been #1 in our company the last 2 years, nationally ranked top 250 the last 5, and top 1% in San Diego for the last 5 years as well. We do good business. We're 5-star rated. We're the best of the best.
Man, when you're saying your number, I was just thinking Mike Jones.
812-225-8008.
But hey, you just had a chance to sit down with Gabe for an hour and something and really get to know him. So if you feel called to him, here's a man, the myth, the legend. Love it, bro. Thank you. Thank you for listening and spending your time. We don't take it for granted. We know it's valuable. So our intention is to bring the heat, to bring real change to you, stuff that you can take away. If you enjoyed this podcast, please follow, like, share, do all the things. Let's get the message out, create a bigger ripple effect. That's our intention. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
If this episode spoke to your soul,
share it with someone you love and tag us at the Gynergy Effect. We'd love to connect.
And remember, your energy is your power. Use it with intention.